Pokemon Champions comes out tomorrow. It is April 7th. The game comes out on April 8th. Probably the night of the 7th if you're in the US. And I couldn't be more excited. Honestly, this is like my most anticipated game of the year. Which sounds kind of dumb because it's just an online battling simulator game. But I really quickly wanted to go over just some of the mechanics of this game. I'm just on the website looking at the last bit of information before the game comes out. And then kind of talk about why I'm excited about it and what you might choose to do when the game comes out and how you can have fun and what my plans are. So Pokemon Champions is essentially, it's just the online battling portion of a mainline Pokemon game like Scarlet and Violet or Sword and Shield. You're just going to be matched with other players. You're going to use 6 Pokemon in singles. Oh no, sorry, probably 3 Pokemon in singles, probably 4 Pokemon in doubles. Maybe there'll be cool formats later, like a Little Cup or something like that. I don't really think that's going to come out at the beginning, but that's what the game is. It's just going online and battling people and testing your skill and all that, and probably doing daily quests or weekly quests or a battle pass or something. Think of this like a mobile game, honestly. It's kind of a mobile game version of the online section of a main series game. So knowing that going into it, it's not going to have a story. It's not going to have any type of like long-term progression probably besides like rank for the seasons and like battle pass stuff. It's just play and learn, and it's kind of the gateway into getting into competitive like local events, I suppose. It's gonna be like the new format for Pokemon Worlds, which is the yearly championship series. They do TCG, they do Pokemon Go. I think they do Unite also, and then typically they do the main series game, which has been Scarlet and Violet, but it's now going to be Champions. I really like this because as a fan of Pokemon games, I don't really like team building. And what I mean by that is I don't really like having to grind in the game to get the resources just to build a team. You know, you have to, like in Scarlet and Violet, you have to get money to buy the items. You gotta change the nature with the mints. You gotta put the right moves on it, and to get the right moves, you gotta grind the... You gotta like grind the material to purchase the TMs to give it to the right Pokemon. Sometimes there's egg moves involved, which you can do with breeding and stuff. And honestly, it's a huge turnoff for me as a casual, like, long-time Pokemon fan. Takes too long. I got a full-time job, and I don't want to spend my free time doing that, if that makes sense. And that sounds kind of lame because it's a game in the first place. I just want to do battles. And before Scarlet and Violet came out, I really thought I was going to get into like competitive battling, but I just didn't because, I don't know, it was just a turnoff for me. The game itself didn't look nice enough, if that makes sense. It's kind of a judge a book by its cover kind of reason, but the game was kind of ugly and it was honestly a big turnoff for me. This game, though, I actually very much like the design choice. The trainers are finally out of the school outfits. We got normal, cool-looking outfits, and it's going to be really exciting, I think. Yeah, so at launch, we're going to have ranked battles, casual battles, and private battles. Don't even bother doing casual. Like, just play ranked. You're going to learn a lot more. You're going to get VP and all that. You're going to battle people who know what they're doing. Therefore, you're going to have a much wider, like, net of gained experience and strategies and, like, what's the word I'm thinking of? Exposure to different Pokemon and what they do and strategies people use. So just play ranked, honestly. When I was a young kid, I was very intimidated by ranked in, like, Pokemon Black and White, for example, when that was current. And to be fair, you do just get bodied by people who know what they're doing, because if you don't know about EVs and you don't know about IVs, and to a lesser extent like moves and stuff and types, you're just going to get destroyed by people who know what they're doing, honestly. So I'm glad that Champions is finally making this information available to, like, normies, I'm going to call us. Mega Evolution is very fun. I remember X and Y was the first games where I actually learned about EVs and made competitive teams. I did make a busted Mega Kangaskhan and had some fun in the Wi-Fi battles with that. There's going to be seasons. We're going to start with like Regulation MA, Season 1 and 2, and then there's going to be a new set, MB. They're going to add new Pokemon. That's pretty cool. You can connect to home and bring your Pokemon from other games. Most people will do this, but even if you've never played a Pokemon game before, it might not be like the perfect situation, but you can recruit and like trial, I guess, different competitive Pokemon. You could always just get Pokemon Go and the basic home subscription and like make do with that, or just have a friend who can give you Pokemon is probably what you'll end up doing. Yeah, the training is going to be really streamlined. I'm really excited about that. And you're going to get a Mega Dragonite. So I'm guessing the Megas are going to be released slowly over time. Again, I really like the customization we got going here. I think the main trainers look pretty cool. I like there's like poses and outfits, and it's probably going to be monetized and all that. But that's okay, because I'll tell you what happens if the game's not monetized. You're going to get something like Pokemon TCG Live, which has the ugliest UI and models of any game I've ever played in my life, basically. But the game is fun, and you kind of wish they actually monetized it so they could fix the bugs and make the game better and like add the features that they've been talking about. It's a TCG thing, but they've been talking about adding the expanded format for years and still haven't done it. So, as lame as it is to have this be mobile, gamified, and monetized with battle passes where you have to unlock Megastones or whatever, or memberships to get more quests or whatever, or more storage. Overall, I think it's a net positive because you can enjoy the game as a free-to-play player or like a soft free-to-play player, like if you're using home or like a different main series game. And you don't have to worry about the game being like low quality. It's kind of like ironic that the free-to-play games sometimes have a way higher quality than like main series or like normal AAA games nowadays, but that's just how it works, unfortunately. So I guess that's all that's on the website, but I just want to say I'm really excited for this. I'm glad that there's a game where like I can actually play with my friends or play online in a very smooth, easy way that I don't have to like put in hours and hours of work on a different game to build my team. I can just start pretty much. I mean, you're going to have to spend VP to build your team, but that's probably going to be way easier than everyone thinks it is. There's going to be daily quests, there's probably going to be weekly quests, or free points, or whatever. You're going to get tickets like crazy, dude, so I really hope and think that team building is going to be super, super easy. I could be wrong, we'll find out tomorrow and all that, but I think it's going to be nice. So I'm going to reference TCG again. It is intimidating to play ranked in a game where it feels very punishing to do the wrong thing. And even more so in VGC because half the battle is team building. So if you build a bad team, you're gonna lose, you know, generally speaking. What I suggest, and you don't have to do this of course, but what I suggest is just to play with rental teams or copy other people's teams online or on YouTube videos or on guides or whatever, and just get experience playing. I think, like, you know, in general, competitive people recommend playing 500 to 1,000 games just as a baseline to learn about different strategies and teams and your team and Pokemon that are available and moves and combinations and all that. Typings, too. You just gotta play games and don't beat yourself up about losing. But my point being, use rental teams because, in general, they're built with the synergy in mind. It's taking out that first part of the battle. You don't have to think about team building and all that. Like, you're not losing because the team was bad. You're losing because you're learning how to play, if that makes sense. So when I started playing the TCG, I play Pokemon TCG Live, occasionally, casually, of course. I just copy teams off of Limitless. I copy competitive champion-winning teams, or decks, I should say. I really like the Mega Lucario deck right now. I made a Dragapult deck when I was brand new, which is just like the typical best deck in the format. And you just kind of play games and you're like, okay. And then you start seeing the decks that other people use. And you're like, oh, I like that. That guy used the Marnie's Grimmsnarl, or that guy used the Hopzation, which was one of my favorite decks that wasn't very good. So you just go learning and learning and learning, and then, eventually, you get to a point where you know what you're doing enough that you can go and make your own deck. AKA in Champions, just play with a pre-built team, a rental team, try a bunch out, see what you like, what works. You're gonna lose. You have a 50% chance to lose on a baseline, because it's, you know, 1v1 kind of game. So don't beat yourself up for losing. But over time, you'll kind of learn strategies, maybe you'll try something else, and you're like, okay, now I think I understand enough to go and build my own team. In general, just don't take it so seriously. Have fun. It's a competitive game, obviously, but you don't have to play like you're going to a championship. You know what I mean? On the other hand, this is a good opportunity to get into going to your locals, card shops or game shops or whatever. I am personally excited to start doing that. The only thing I've ever done so far is play at some pre-release TCG events. They're really fun, actually. And I am trying to find one that does VGC, or maybe will do VGC when Champions comes out. Just to, like, meet people and have the in-person experience, because it's just fun. Like, the pre-releases are super casual for the card game, because everyone's on a pretty similar playing field. Whether you're a pro or a new guy, you could win just based on the deck you get. So, it's just casual fun. But you could use this as your opportunity to learn and try to be good and maybe win some tournaments or get championship points or go to Worlds or whatever. So, that's not exactly my goal, but I do want to do some more in-person live stuff too, with VGC and with cards. So that's my little spiel on Pokemon Champions. The game comes out the night of the 7th, April 8th, and I think it's going to be really fun. It's probably going to consume the next month for me, if not more than that. So, are you excited for Champions? Are you going to play? Do you want to play with me? Do you want to fight me? You're probably going to beat me, but that's okay. I'll definitely be playing tomorrow night for the launch, whether it's on stream or just me and my cousin or whatever, but we're going to play. I'm going to probably upload that first night's reaction and see how good it is. Hopefully it's good. And then, yeah, we'll just see from there. There's still a lot of stuff we don't know. We'll find out tomorrow. And then, we can say for sure whether it's good or not. I think it'll be good if you're a Pokemon fan, and if you're not, it'll be a good trial run for you, and then you might get into it or you might not, but just take it chill, have fun, don't stress about it. It's ranked, it's competitive, but it's just freaking Pokemon, dude. This game for kids and 30-year-olds, but we love it, so just have fun with it, okay? Alright, we'll see you tomorrow. We're gonna see if this game's any good. Okay, take care, bye.